Hi there. Welcome, students. My name is Rebecca Weaver. I'm going to be looking at a general strategy for factoring polynomials today. So nothing new, just a little strategy. Here's your general strategy. Step 1. Is there a greatest common factor? If there is, yeah, then factor it out. If not, just move on. Step 2. Is this a polynomial, binomial, trinomial, or are there more than 3 terms? Okay, so if it's a binomial, it's a polynomial, that's a binomial. Is it a sum? If it's of squares, sum of squares don't factor. You're done. Is it of cubes? Then you have to use the sum of cubes formula that we've already learned. So is it a difference of squares? Then you factor as a product of conjugates. We've already done that one too. If it's of cubes, then you use the sum of cubes formula, which we did previous to this video. If it's a trinomial, is it of the form x squared plus bx plus c? If it is, that's really sweet. It's the easy ones. Just undo it by foiling. It's that trial and error guessing and looking at factors. Is it of the form ax squared plus bx plus c? If a and c are squares, check to see if it's a trinomial square. You don't really have to do that, but if not, you're still using trial and error. You're still looking at factors and checking to see if that works. If it has more than 3 terms, use the grouping method. Step number 3, not our favorite, but it's how we figure out if it's the answer. You check it. So is it factored completely? Make sure that there's not a common term throughout anybody. And do the factors multiply back to the original polynomial? If they do, you're done. If they don't, ooh, you made a mistake. Throw your piece of paper in the trash and start again. All right, let's look at this one as just practice. I'm just going to look at a couple of really hard ones. So this is x to the 4th minus 16. Do the same thing you always do. Look at your factors of 16. 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. This is a difference of squares, so it's got to be that 4 and 4. So we're going to have an x squared, and then we're going to have a plus and a minus guy. Remember that difference of squares that we looked at earlier? We had to have a plus guy and a minus guy, or a conjugate pair, in order to make that middle term disappear. So to make a 16, it's got to be a 4 and a 4. Now, I'm going to look at this thing. The x squared plus 4, he doesn't factor, write him down. But that x squared minus 4, it factors again because it's a difference of squares. You're going to have an x plus and an x minus, and then the back guy is going to be a 2. So if you want to see if this works, you've got to multiply this out. So what I'm going to do is multiply the first 2 terms. I'm going to take that x squared plus 4 and multiply it by the x plus 2. So I have x squared plus 4 times x, that's x cubed, x squared times 2, that's 2x, 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 2 is 8. Then I need to write down my other guy, and I have to multiply all of that out as well. So multiplying that x cubed by that x, that's x to the 4th. The x cubed times the minus 2, that's a minus 2x cubed. Now I take that 2x squared and distribute him among those two guys. That's going to be plus 2x cubed minus 4x squared. Then I take this 4x and distribute him among those two guys. So that's going to be plus 4x squared minus 8x. Very lastly, the 8, he gets his turn at both the x and the negative 2, so plus 8x minus 16. Now, I've got to combine like terms. So I write down that x to the 4th. Then I say, where are the x cubes? There they are. There's a minus 2x cubed plus 2x cubed. That's gone. I don't even have to write anything down. The x squared guys, I got a minus 4x squared and a plus 4x squared. They're gone. Let's look at the x terms. Minus 8x plus 8. They're gone. All I got left is that. And you know what that means. That means that that is right because that's my original. And my answer is sitting right there. All right, let's look at one more. Oh my goodness, look at this guy. Oh, let me get that off there. Okay, fixed. So I have 2x to the 7th minus 128x. Well, in our strategies, it said, do we have Anything in common? Well, yeah, we do. We have both a 2 and an x. So I'm going to pull it. When I pull it out, I'll have 2x times the quantity x to the 6 minus 64. So now what I have to do is look at those factors of 64. 8 and 8. Now I know it's got to be 8 and 8. There's more than just that of 64, but it has to be an 8 and an 8 because this is difference of squares. And in order for that middle term to drop, it has to be the same thing twice. So I leave that 2x hanging out. Don't forget about him because he's so easy to leave out, but you leave him there. You'll have an x cubed and x cubed. I got to have next a plus and a minus guy. Then the next thing I'm going to need are my plus 8 and minus 8. Both of these two are sum and a difference of cubes. I'm going to be using my sum of cubes formula, and I'll be using my difference of cubes formula. So I'll put them up here at the top so that we don't forget. Here's my sum of cubes since I'm using him first. This is going to break apart into 2x, and then the first two parentheses are my sum of two cubes, and the last two parentheses are the difference of two cubes. I need to know what a and b are. So this is just like we did before. If a is x and b is 2, I just plug this into the formula. It's going to be x plus 2 times the quantity x squared minus 2x plus 2 squared, which is 4. I need my difference of cubes formula. A and b are still the same. Then I'll plug that into my differences formula of x minus 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 4. So I believe this is the right answer. I believe it's factored completely, and that's as low as it'll go. But do you know how I have to check? That's right. I have to multiply it out. I probably would say, I think I'm right, and forget about it. But I want you to see what it's like to multiply it out. So I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to take 2x times this x plus 2 and distribute that and write the rest down. So there I go. There's where I distributed. I have 2x squared plus 4x. Then I'm just going to write the rest down. Next thing I need to do is take those two and multiply. So I'll take the 2x squared and multiply it all the way through. Then I'll take the 4x, multiply it all the way through. When I multiply the 2x squared all the way through, it's 2x to the 4th minus 4x cubed plus 8x squared. Now I take the 4x, multiply it all the way through. That's going to be plus 4x cubed minus 8x squared plus 16x. Super easy to make a mistake here, so be careful. Next, I'm going to look at these two terms. So I have to multiply this all the way through. Oh my goodness, but I have some like terms, so I ought to take care of that first. Okay, and that first thing, see I have a couple of x cubes and I have a couple of x squareds, so let's take care of that first. So I have 2x to the 4th. Ooh, those guys go away. That's sweet. Ooh, there's a plus 8x squared and minus, okay, that's nice. So all I have is a plus 16x squared. This is hard enough. I don't want to introduce more work. So go ahead and simplify where you can. Then write the other stuff down. Now I'm going to multiply those two. So distributing that 2x to the 4th, I'm going to get 2x to the 5th minus 4x to the 4th. Distributing the 16x, I'll get plus 16x squared minus 32x. Write the other stuff down. Now, let's see if I have any like terms. I don't, so this is going to be long. I got to distribute the 2x to the 5th, the 4x to the 4th, the 16x squared, and the 32x. Oh my goodness. Here's the 2x to the 5th. Multiplying the 2x to the 5th times that last term there, I'll get 2x to the 7th plus 4x to the 6th plus 8x to the 5th. Distributing that minus 4x to the 4th, I'll get minus 4x to the 6th minus 8x to the 5th minus 16x to the 4th. Watch your signs on this. Easy to make a mistake. Next, going for the 16x squared, I'll get 16x to the 4th plus 32x cubed plus 64x squared. Then distribute that minus 32. Minus 32x cubed plus 64x squared minus 128x. All right, so we need to start combining like terms here. You guys are gone. You guys are gone. You guys are gone. You guys are gone. Ta-da. So writing down what we have left, that is the right answer. So I need to know what it is that I should circle, and I circle where it was factored completely And that would be the answer right there. Because after all, you get finished with this and you go, what was my answer? What's your answer is in that box there. So if you have any question, email me, rweaver10@alaska.edu, and have a fantastic day. Bye now.